Imagine this, you're stuck in traffic on your way home, gripping the wheel of that new SUV you financed last year, and your phone lights up. Your coworker just posted pics from an epic road trip to the Grand Canyon in their sleek Tesla. Same job, same $70,000 salary, but they're living free while your $772 monthly car payment feels like a noose around your neck. That's the average new car payment in 2026. And it's not just draining your bank account, it's silently stealing $1.7 million from your retirement. Yeah, you heard that right. How stick around. This trap is more dangerous than you think. You think, how are they pulling this off, secret side hustle, rich family? Nah, the truth will make you unreasonably angry because it's not any of those glamorous things. It's avoiding the one massive trap you're likely caught in right now. That endless cycle of car payments that seem normal but are anything but. My name is Mark from Mark Invest. If you're fed up with your car bill chaining you down while others cruise ahead on the same paycheck, smash that subscribe button right now. Today we're exposing the $772 car payment trap and the shocking math showing how it's costing you $1.7 million in lost retirement wealth. And the best part, you can escape it starting today. Quick question before we dive in. What's your monthly car payment right now, and do you feel like it's holding you back from building real wealth? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one and reply to as many as I can. Hit like if this already feels too real, and let's get into how this trap really works with two people just like you. Okay, let's meet Jessica and Amanda. Two typical 30-year-olds making around $70,000 a year in similar jobs, same city, same rent pressure. Jessica drives a solid 2020 Honda Civic she bought used for cash a few years ago. No monthly payment sucking her dry. Instead, every month she automatically transfers $772, the exact amount Amanda pays for her car, into a simple S&P 500 index fund, like Vanguard's VOO or Fidelity's FXAIX. Low fees, set it and forget it. She doesn't check it every day. Maybe once a year she peeks and thinks, cool, it's still growing, then goes back to living life. Amanda. She's got the brand new 2026 BMW 3 Series. Feels great pulling up to work, right? But that comes with a $772 monthly payment stretched over 7 years. Because dealerships love making it look affordable. She tells herself it's an investment in her image, in comfort, in adulting, her savings account. Maybe a few thousand from occasional deposits, but nothing consistent because that payment eats up the budget. Both feel like they're doing fine at first. Same salary, same lifestyle vibe. But here's where the math gets brutal. If Jessica keeps investing that $772 every single month at the historical S&P 500 average return of 10%, over 30 years she contributes about $278,000 of her own money. The compound interest turns it into roughly $1.7 million. That's 84% of her wealth coming from the market doing its job, not from her grinding harder. Amanda. She's still paying off the car upgrading when the lease ends, maybe rolling into another payment because I need something reliable. By the time she's in her 50s or 60s, her retirement account might be sitting at $300,000 or $400,000 if she's lucky with sporadic 401k contributions. Meanwhile, Jessica's money has been compounding quietly for decades. The difference isn't salary, isn't luck. It's that one decision Jessica invested the money Amanda used for car payments. And get this, it gets even crazier. If someone invests $772 a month for just the first 10 years of their career, from 30 to 40, that's about $92,000 total contributed, then stops adding anything. At a conservative 8% return after inflation, that could still grow to over $1.2 million by age 65. Someone else waits until 40 and invests $772 monthly for the next 25 years, contributing 3 times more money, and ends up with less. The early investor wins big because time is the real superpower here. You're probably sitting there thinking, Mark's $772 a month sounds impossible with everything else going on. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You already have it. You're just spending it on something that loses value instead of building it. That $772 car payment isn't just a monthly bill. It's the single biggest wealth killer hiding in plain sight for most people in their 30s and 40s. In 2026, the average new car loses about 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Then you stretch the loan to 7 or 8 years, so the payment looks manageable, but you're paying interest on a depreciating asset for years longer than necessary. Meanwhile, that same $772 invested consistently, it becomes $1.7 million over 30 years at historical returns. Every single $100 you redirect from car payments to investments turns into about $226,000 down the road. You're not choosing between a nicer car and a beater. You're choosing between a depreciating toy and millionaire-level retirement security. And here's the good news, you already have the money sitting there. Look at your spending average subscriptions. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, unused gym apps run about $90 a month. Dining out, DoorDash, takeout, another $280 on average for people in their 30s. That's $370 right there without touching anything else. Throw in coffee runs, impulse, Amazon buys, or weekend outings, and you're easily over $500 to $700 a month in small expenses that feel harmless but add up fast. Cut even half of that. Cancel the subscriptions you barely use, cook more at home, skip a few delivery orders, and suddenly you have $400 to $700 freed up every month. Redirect that straight to an index fund instead of another car payment, and the math starts working in your favor immediately. In 2026, with inflation still pressuring everyone and rent eating 30 to 40% of paychecks in big cities, it feels tight. I get it. But keeping the nice car is the real luxury you can't afford. The real luxury is financial freedom later. So let's talk about why most people stay trapped. It's not the math, it's the fear and the system designed to keep you paying. But I know exactly what's going through your head right now, Mark. This sounds great, but what if the market crashes? What if I invest that $772 every month and then everything tanks? This is the number one fear that keeps smart, hardworking people like you sitting on the sidelines and staying broke. So let's kill that fear with real data, not opinions. The S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of about 10% since 1926. That's nearly 100 years of history. We're talking through the Great Depression market dropped 86%, World War II, the 1970s oil crisis and stagflation, the dot-com crash in 2000, the 2008 financial meltdown, COVID in 2020, the 2022 inflation dip, every single major crisis you can name. Through all of that, the long-term average is still 10%. After inflation, it's roughly 7%, which is still more than enough to turn your $772 monthly investment into $1.7 million over 30 years. Here's the part that should make you relax. The S&P 500 has never, not once, produced a negative return over any rolling 20-year period in its entire history. If you invest consistently for 20 years or longer, you have always made money. Over 30 years, the worst annualized return was about 4.3%, still positive and growing your wealth. Every crash has recovered. COVID crashed back in 5 months, 2008. Took about 5.5 years to fully recover. The market is resilient. And here's the real secret nobody tells you when you're investing $772 every single month. Market crashes are actually your best friend. When prices drop 30%, your $772 buys 30% more shares at a discount. That's dollar cost averaging doing its magic. It automatically buys low without you having to guess the bottom. You don't need perfect timing. You just need consistency. There's powerful data from JP Morgan that drives this home. If you invested $10,000 in the S&P 500 from 2003 to 2025 and stayed fully invested through all the ups and downs, you'd have grown it significantly. But if you missed just the 10 best trading days out of more than 5,000 trading days in that period, your return drops by more than half. And guess what? 7 of those 10 best days happened right in the middle of bear markets, during the scariest, most panicked times. If you sell in fear, you almost guarantee you miss the biggest recovery days. The S&P 500 survived the Great Depression, 2 world wars, 9/11, 2008, COVID inflation spikes. But sure, it's probably going to collapse because you decided to put in $772 a month. You're the one thing that finally breaks capitalism, right? Sarcasm aside, the data is overwhelming. The market isn't the problem. The real problem is your brain and the system that profits when you stay scared and keep paying. So if the math is this solid and the market has proven itself over a century, why do so many people in their 30s and 40s stay trapped in the car payment cycle? Why is the median retirement savings for Americans 35 to 44 still so low in 2026? It's not the stock market, it's your brain, and the system built to exploit it. Your brain is literally wired to keep you poor in modern times. It evolved 200,000 years ago when the biggest decision was eat the berries now or save them for tomorrow. It has zero concept of sacrificing $772 today for $1.7 million in 30 years. So it screams present bias. Take the nice car now. Future, you will figure it out. You'd rather have the immediate dopamine hit of a new ride than millions later. Then there's loss aversion. The pain of losing $100 feels about 2.25 times worse than the pleasure of gaining $100. That's why people obsessively check their portfolios during dips, freak out, and sell at the bottom. Studies show the people who check their accounts once a year, or never, build far more wealth. The less you torture yourself looking, the richer you get. And don't forget lifestyle inflation, every raise, every bonus you upgrade. Nicer car, bigger apartment, fancier vacations. Research says 78% of people claim they'll save more when they get a raise. Almost none actually do unless it's automated. Your brain sees extra money and immediately spends it on slightly better versions of what you already have. But here's what really makes me angry: the system is designed to take advantage of all this. The financial industry makes billions when you panic trade, chase hot stocks, or switch funds constantly. They make $0 when you buy one low-cost index fund and ignore it for 40 years. So they'll never tell you the boring solution is the best one. Car dealerships stretch loans to 7 or 8 years, so that $772 payment looks affordable on paper. Every commercial, every ad you see is engineered to make you believe your $772 belongs to them, not in your future. They're stealing your retirement $772 at a time, and most people never even notice. The good news: once you see the trap for what it is, you can break free. And regular people have done it. Let me show you proof next. Okay, at this point you might be thinking, Mark, this all sounds good, but I'm not some finance genius or born rich. Can regular people really escape the car payment trap and build serious wealth? Absolutely yes. Let me prove it with real stories of everyday Americans who did exactly that. People who said no to the endless upgrade cycle and yes to consistent boring investing. Take Ronald Reed, a janitor and gas station attendant in Vermont. He never earned more than $20,000 a year his entire life. He showed up to work in a jacket patched together with safety pins. Drove a rusty 2007 Toyota Yaris that his coworkers constantly joked about. But every single week he quietly bought shares of solid dividend-paying stocks with whatever he could spare. Sometimes $40 out of a $50 paycheck. He never sold, never chased hot trends, never upgraded his lifestyle. When he died in 2014 at age 92, his estate was worth over $8 million. The local hospital he left money to was stunned. They were expecting maybe $5,000. His library received $1.2 million. The same co-workers who laughed at his cheap car had been working alongside a secret multimillionaire for decades. Then there's Sylvia Bloom, a legal secretary in Manhattan who rode the subway for 67 years. When the lawyers she worked for placed big stock orders, she'd quietly buy smaller amounts of the same stocks for herself. No flashy lifestyle, no big salary. She died with over $9 million and left $6.24 million to charity. Or Grace Groner. In 1935, she bought 3 shares of Abbott Laboratories stock for just $180. She reinvested every dividend and never sold. When she passed away in 2010 at age 100, those 3 shares had grown to $7.2 million. Fast forward to right now in 2026, Fidelity reports over 595,000 people with 401k balances of $1 million or more. The average contribution rate just 14.1% of salary. Average tenure 26 years. That's it. Consistent automatic investing in low-cost funds, nothing exotic. Meanwhile, the median retirement savings for Americans aged 25 to 34 is still under $5,000. Social Security averages around $1,976 a month, nowhere near enough for most people. 1 in 5 Americans over 65 is still working because they have to. These stories aren't exceptions for the lucky few. They're proof that avoiding the car payment trap and redirecting that money instead works for regular people. The math doesn't care about your job title or your starting salary. It cares about time and consistency. So now that you see it's possible, let's talk about how you actually do it. Starting today. Look, I can show you all the math, tell you inspiring stories of janitors who retired millionaires and doctors who died in debt. But none of it changes your life unless you act. And here's the harsh reality about compound interest: every single day you delay, the math gets exponentially harder to catch up to. Right now, redirecting $772 a month for 30 years can build you $1.7 million. Wait just 1 year. You'll need about $800 to $820 a month to reach the same goal. Wait 5 years, closer to $1,050. Wait 10 years, over $1,500 a month. The target moves away faster than most people can run. There are 2 versions of you 30 years from now. One version opens their retirement account and sees $1.7 million or more. They're planning trips, spending time with grandkids, financially free, no stress about bills. The other version sees $300,000 or $400,000, still working part-time at 75. Because Social Security isn't enough, worrying about medications, one emergency away from real trouble. Both versions are you. The only difference is what you do in the next 30 minutes. Here's exactly what to do. Simple step-by-step, no excuses. Sell or trade in the expensive car. Get something reliable and used. Pay cash or short loan if needed. This frees up the $772 payment immediately. Open a Roth IRA or use your existing 401k at Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. Takes about 20 minutes online. If you're single and earn under $153,000 or married under $242,000 in 2026, Roth is perfect. Buy one low-cost S&P 500 index fund. VOO Vanguard 0.03% fee. FXAIX Fidelity 0.015% or SWPPX Schwab 0.02%. They all track the same thing and cost almost nothing. Set up automatic monthly transfers of $772 or start with whatever you can. Even $200 builds momentum. Make it happen on payday so you never see the money. Forget about the account. Don't check it daily. Check once a year. Let compound interest work while you live your life. Extra perks, Roth grows tax-free forever. On $1 million, you save $150,000 to $200,000 in taxes. 401k contributions are pre-tax, so $772. Costs your paycheck only about $600 in the 22% bracket, and most employers match, adding free money like $200 extra on a $70,000 salary if you contribute enough. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for the perfect time. The perfect time was yesterday. The next best time is right now. If this video shook you, do these 3 things immediately. Smash the like button if you're done with the trap. Comment below. I'm selling my car, or my payment is $____. Time to change. I read every comment and reply to as many as possible. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video that could save you millions. You've got the math, the proof, and the plan. Now take the first step in the next 30 minutes. Your future self is counting on it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.